Hey guys, welcome. We're so excited that you're here. And this webinar is called How to Crush Procrastination. And if you wait till the end of the webinar, we've got some exciting news about an exciting project and also an exciting gift if you wait till the end. So please bear with us and get to the end. But we're so excited that you're here. But firstly, let's introduce ourselves. So my name is Asad Munir. I have a corporate career in the tech industry, and I'm also a qualified life coach.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live. I hope you're all well. My name's Sean Colley. I'm in the property industry, and I'm also a qualified personal development coach as well.
Hi, guys. I'm Sarah Carter. I'm the mindset coach. I am also Team GB head coach for inclusive skating, and I am a qualified NLP master practitioner.
Brilliant. So welcome, everyone. How to crush procrastination. I think that's an important topic that we wanted to cover today. And with that, I'll get started by passing over to Sean.
Yeah, so guys, this is a massive subject. It really is. You know, when you talk about procrastination, it's something that can cripple you if you allow it to. So the first thing I want to touch on is what needs to be recognized is procrastination is a habit. It's a habit, guys. So it's not actually who we are. And when we understand this and comprehend it, then you can begin to make a change. Why? Because habits can be changed. And this is absolutely game-changing stuff. Yes, it's going to take hard work. Yes, it's going to take a bit of time. But what the first thing you need to understand is it's just simply something that is a habit and it can be changed. So, yeah, this is a massive topic, guys. Really take these notes in this session as well, because we're going to be dropping some massive hints, some massive tips to help you with this topic. So, as Asad, yeah. Thanks for the introduction there. It's time to get into it. No messing about. So I hope that one helps.
Yeah, for me, I find 9 times out of 10, the main trigger for procrastination is actually stress. And when we're, we've got kids to get to school, we've got work that needs doing, we've got deadlines, we've got washing to put on, all that kind of stuff. 9 times out of 10, the trigger point is just stress. And there's so much stuff. So, things like why are we stressed? How are we stressed? How to become less stressed? All of that kind of stuff needs to happen before we get into the realms of stopping the procrastination. And as you guys know, we've got so many different models that we can talk through, and we'll talk through on the webinar that we're going to do. But like PDS model, time boxing, routines, evening routines, morning routines, all of those things put together. And when you actually use them, because part of it, and as you guys know, it's action based. If you take the action, I mean, it's all well and good knowing all these models. If you don't use them, they're just books sitting on the shelf unread. So for me, it's all action.
Yeah, I think that's so important, actually. You can know it all, can't you? Right? Like you've said, you can literally know it all. You can know all the information. But if there's no implementation, it means nothing, right? And it's so important to do that.
And then just to kind of, help you guys with that, we have, like Sarah touched on, some of models and techniques to do that. We talked and Sarah mentioned the PDS model, but, that's something that we can go through later in the webinar. But what we have is essentially that scheduling. So looking at your daily routines, taking control at the beginning. And, it's not merely a tick box or a checkbox exercise. It is taking control of scheduling. And an important part of that and how that works is looking at your morning routine and what you're doing in the morning and making sure that, you have some time in the morning where you can clear your head, where you can do some exercise, get your body flowing, wake up, spend time either, in things like meditation or just planning your day. And that's where we talk about the PDS is you have a time with yourself all alone where you can really take control of your life. And, there is a scientific data backed with the PDS model on how that helps you and how having things like the morning routine, doing things like a physical activity in the morning kind of sets you up for the day. So it de-stresses you because you know what's coming, you know what you need to do. You've got things that are time boxed. and you then got things that even you've taken care of, and you've thought, well, if this happens, then I will do this. If this doesn't happen, then you've got options. And when you have options, then you have control and you have less stress.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, sorry. We're typically on a live, this is what happens, right? Live technology. But what I was going to say is, you know, I used to be in this problem where I've heard of a morning routine. I've heard that, okay, I need to be in this position where I can maybe go to the gym in the morning, then I want to feel better. And that might make me take action on other areas and overcome a procrastination. But one example that rings to my mind was when I was working, 9 to 5, I would always say I haven't got the time, but that was just my excuse. It was just the excuse. And as we know, right, and if you don't know, remember this key point: excuses sound the best to the ones that make them.
Yeah.
So procrastination is directly linked to excuses. Ultimately, take responsibility, and then it comes down to, of course we can do it. Of course we can set a morning routine in place. But like Sarah and Assad have touched on, it comes down to planning and scheduling. And when you understand this and you really can schedule things into your day, hour by hour, you know what you're doing, procrastination becomes an unknown thing, something that you might have been suffering with so bad, or the habit is so bad. By these few simple steps, you can really begin the process of overcoming. And this is what's so fantastic about these principles, that not only we've learned, but more importantly applied and live. And we're all testament to that. We all have to show up daily to get things done. So some fantastic points, guys. If you are finding this valuable so far, I'm going to go into the next point now. But if you are finding it valuable, drop some likes, drop a comment. Would love to hear if you are, getting some value from this. It would really help us as well. So I think it was my point, but I want to I'll just carry it on. And then if it wasn't, then we can go next. But one massive thing that you really want to be doing, guys, it's something that we've had to do and live and really implement, is re-auditing our lives, re-evaluating our lives.
Yeah.
So are we happy with where we're at? What do we actually want out of life? When you figure out what you really want out of life and you have a good re-audit and ask the tough questions that need to be asked, then it can be a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, you're going to have a certain amount of clarity. But on the other side of the sword is definitely, if you haven't got certain steps in place, like scheduling, is where procrastination comes in, because you might get overwhelmed. So it's about having a set-by-set plan, having the right people around you, and asking the tough questions and being prepared to deal with them. So re-audit your life, really get deep on what's going well, what's not going so well, what are you not doing enough of, what can be done better. When you really start to figure out these things and question yourself, because no one does it, no one questions themselves.
Yeah.
But when you do, that's when change can happen.
It does. I'm just going to kind of jump in a second, because that's one of the things when I first started going down the route of personal development. For me, the life audit, like physically, mentally, all that kind of stuff, it was eye-opening. And there are some really, like you said, there's some really tough decisions that have to be made, and unless you're prepared to make them, you're not going to get what you want. Like you could think, oh, I know what I want. This is my goal, and this is my end goal, my 5-year plan, my 3-year plan. But then if you're not willing to make the really tough decisions and the sacrifices right at the beginning, you're not really going to get there. I mean, for me, I started with, yep, this is what I'm doing. And then there were a few people, I'm not going to lie, there were a few people that were just a bit kind of mood hoovers, and you have to sort of just limit your time with those people. And like you alluded to, the people you spend the most amount of time with, you're going to be like that. So if you're around people that are, oh, my boss did this and so did that, and did you see this at the weekend? If you're around people that are like that, and that's what you want to be, if you want to be kind of like, oh yeah, and gossip, then fair enough, do it. But if that's not what you want, if that's not in your 5-year plan, your 3-year plan, all that, then you've got to limit your time. I'm not saying, cut them off dead, but you've got to be prepared to spend less time with those people and find more people. Like I found you guys, who are, you know what you want, you're going after it, and you can all help each other out. And I think it's really important to take a step back, take all the emotion out, which is really difficult sometimes, isn't it? Take all the emotion out and just go, right, okay, I'm spending time with this person, or I'm spending time on social media. I'm looking at these different accounts on social media, because, you know, we've all done it. We've all opened up Facebook and Instagram and gone, oh, and then looked at the clock and an hour's gone. And think, what else could I have done in an hour? And it, you know, spending time with people that aren't going towards your passions and your goals and helping you get there. And it's okay for not everybody to understand what you're doing. As long as you understand it and you understand why you're doing it and you're not being horrible to anyone, then for me, you need to just push on and you get what you want, for me.
And that's a great point, Sarah. You know, if you think about why you are stressed, you know, what is the cause of the stress? You know, you're looking at where you don't have your goals. You don't have your true goals. You don't really know what you're doing. And you're not motivated or inspired. And one of the key things, like you touched on, Sarah, is that if you are spending a lot of time with people that themselves don't have goals, that themselves are uninspired and unmotivated, that leads to you being the same as well. Like you said, you know, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if you then, like Sean's saying, audit your life and you look at who you're spending the time with, and if it is these types of people, these mood hoovers, like Sarah's saying, you do need to then evaluate that. Think hard. What do you want? You know, if you want things to be easy, and, you know, just be demotivated and, you know, be happy watching Netflix, then your life will be hard. But if you do the things that are hard right now, evaluate yourself, take action, then your life becomes easy. So, you know, it's a major cause of stress, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are gems. We're dropping gems right now, guys. I hope you find it valuable, honestly, because these things are what changed all of our lives. I'm sure we can all agree, right? Implementing such things like these. So, for example, you know, like Sarah rightly touched on, when it comes to people that you're around and surrounding yourself with, that is actually a direct link to procrastination. Because how are you going to get the goals you want if you're around the wrong people? So I'd actually go one further. It's probably a bit controversial. Sarah, you said, you know, to limit time. I would say if you're around the wrong people who are not aligned with the goals and vision, cut them off. But that's just me. That's just the way I operate, right? But obviously everyone's different. But I would literally say, you know, you have to make these decisions. So what I think is really important, as well as how to crush procrastination and really get over it, is one thing that we are super in the know of, and I would love if you guys would to be open to this, is self-awareness. Self-awareness to understand what am I doing? What are the things that I need to do? How am I living? What's my mindset like? Are my targets? Do I even have targets? You know, how's my morning routines and the rest of it? There's so many things to cover, but self-awareness, in my view, is one of the true gems that is so underrated and no one talks about enough. If you can understand yourself, then you can master yourself. It's really as simple as that. And that's a big thing to say, right? To suggest, but because no one's perfect, never going to be perfect. You can always chase that. But the road to self-mastery and self-awareness is definitely possible. And it's about growing all the time. So yeah, these things are absolute gems. They're absolute gems. And procrastination is a crippler if you allow it. So I hope it's been valuable.
Yeah, I think it comes back to that. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't do, like you said, Sean, if you don't do like an audit every now and again and ask yourselves those questions, then you're not going to know the answers. So if you don't know the answer, you can't then take action on the answer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it is take a step back, take the emotion out, take what you need out of that situational scenario, and then take it further and get what you need to project into your future and your life.
Yeah.
And another cause of stress as well, and you know, like Sean, we touched on being self-aware, is about looking at, you know, yourself and self-care and thinking about how much you're spending on that, because that only comes through if you are self-aware. If you're looking at yourself, looking at your emotions, looking at why you are stressed out, it's maybe because you aren't spending enough time with yourself. So really think about that, guys, to say, well, actually, kind of binge watching Netflix isn't necessarily self-care. That leads to stress and leads to procrastination, but it's about seriously taking time out, looking at how best to nourish, your mind, your body, and your soul, to think, well, okay, self-care and self-help is about, exercise, working out. It's also about reading, and being self-aware, opening your horizons and looking at different things, reading up different books, not just on Facebook all the time, and even can be where you're scheduling time alone, where you might be going for a walk, in the woods, or you might be going to the beach, or you might be just spending time in nature, spending time with your family, or your children, or your partner. It's these kinds of things that you really have to be self-aware about, and also then plan and schedule in, like we said. So this is one way of reducing your stress, is spending time with yourself and giving you that self-care. Obviously, there is a caveat to that. You don't want to go overboard and just be spending time with yourself and no one else, and not looking at your goals. But that's the true beauty of being self-aware, is what that balance is. But it's important to understand that and think about self-care as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in my head as well. You touched on a really good point about, people going out in nature and walking. It just came to my head. So, for example, some tangible things that you can implement, guys, is if you're working 9 to 5 and then you come home and then it's family time and then it's Netflix time, but at the very same time you want to get fitter and you want to start reading more, like Asad touched on. Or you might want to get knowledge inside you so you can grow. So a really good implementation that you can put into your life is, before work, go out for a walk in nature. You're getting more fitness, you're getting mental clarity. And then what you can also do, which is what we all implement, and it's something that it's called a compound effect, is where we're out on a walk. So we're getting our steps in, we're getting the fitness in, we're getting the cardio in, but then we bang a podcast on.
Yeah.
So we're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, and this is compounding. This is being time efficient, and this is getting your goals done as well and overcoming procrastination, right? So it's about being smart with your time. If you have got family time and you've got work commitments, again, everyone has, right? So it's about being super, super smart with your time and then taking the action. Action equals overcoming, especially when it comes to procrastination. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that as well, Asa, because you raised that good point.
Yeah, I would agree, actually, guys. That's one of the things that changed everything for me, was because being a figure skating coach, I was always getting up early anyway. But to just get up that extra hour earlier sounded a bit bonkers to me to start off with. But now, if I don't do it, oh my gosh, I really miss it. And the going out, the fresh air, listen to a podcast or an audiobook. Because I'm very much, I love a good read, but listening to audiobooks while I'm out walking, it is kind of game changing, really, because you feel like by the time you actually get to work, you've already had a big chunk of time to yourself. So when people do kind of go, oh, have you got 5 minutes? It's not no, I haven't, because I've got like a report to do. You go, oh yeah, what's the matter? You okay?
Yeah.
And it's just that changing yourself and the changing the energy that you bring to other people that has an effect. I mean, if you get up really late and you're rushing for work, and then somebody says something, you could snap and not mean to snap, and you'd be like, oh. But if you're up and you're already awake and with it, and you've done all the things that you need to do for yourself, like my morning routine is set. It is like and I know what I'm doing. And I'm sure you guys are exactly the same. So that when people do come to me and ask me questions, I can have the time and I can just be like, yeah, that's okay. What do you need? What do you need from me?
Yeah.
What can I help with?
Everything's planned. Everything's just in order. There's no brain fog, and you know exactly where you're at. So that means that you can be more relaxed and stress free. That's what it's all about.
And that's like we talked about. If we kind of then take a step back, what we talked at the beginning was, stress is a major factor in procrastination. Stress is kind of a trigger for procrastination, and procrastination itself is a habit. and habits can be broken, can be changed. And hopefully these tips that we've explained to you now, some of these gems that we've dropped, you can really take away and work on. These are actionable insights that we've come through and brought to you. So if you really like that, you'll like what we have now to offer. As I promised at the beginning, we have some exciting news about the project and some free gifts. So I'll hand it over to Sarah to explain that to you.
Yeah, thanks. Like Asad said, we've got some really cool things coming up. So we have our free Facebook group. So there's going to be lots of actionable steps that go in there. So Facebook group, Mind Upgrade 2.0. Get yourselves in there really quick. Say hi to everybody else that's in the community, because it's going to be very much community based, purpose driven, action taking. All those kind of things are going in there. Definitely not to be missed. And yeah, you want to get in there as quick as possible. And then, like as I said at the beginning, we have a free webinar, 8 p.m, 5th of April, Success Foundations. And that's going to be our Stuck to Successful in 3 Steps. I'm getting all like, whoa, because it's just really exciting. There's so many things. Yeah, super exciting. So yeah, join us in the Facebook group. Definitely join us for the free webinar. So again, 8 p.m, the 5th of April. Yeah, just not to be missed. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, perfect. We've got so much gems that we're going to be dropping. If you find this valuable, we can go into a lot more depth and then really go into it. So yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I hope you have a great evening. Hope you really start to implement this. Again, my name's Sean Colley, and I'll leave it over to the rest of you two to wrap up. So yeah, thank you very much for joining on behalf of me. Take care.
Yeah, I hope you sign up to the Facebook group. Please do that. The link is there. Mind Upgrade 2.0. My name is Asad Munir, and I'm so happy that you joined.
Yeah, just like the guys, I'm Sarah Carter, and yeah, link will be in the comments. And again, thank you very much. We're excited to have you, and we are super excited to see you at the webinar as well. Thanks, guys.